coming up on the November 16th edition of Carolina Week.
I'm Whit Walker, and I'll show you how plans to upgrade this power facility have raised questions with local residents.
And then, could diversity at UNC be in jeopardy?
And in sports, the Heels still need 2 wins to get to a bowl. Next on the slate, the hated Blue Devils. But there's more than just bowl hopes and bragging rights on the line.
Will we finally get any rain?
We'll see. Rob Ellis is here with your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Good evening. You're watching the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week. I'm Tara Higgerson.
And I'm Lydia Garlikov. Tonight, plans to expand UNC's power plant have some neighbors steaming. It's a problem that's put university officials against local residents. Is reliable power really worth it? Reporter Whit Walker joins us from the cogeneration plant with more.
Power is something that we all need, so it's a little bit out of the ordinary that a plan to upgrade this plant's facilities would raise questions with local residents. The cogeneration power facility on Cameron Avenue provides Chapel Hill and the university with power by burning coal and producing steam. The facility was constructed in 1992. Now it's in need of some repairs and updates, but these updates are making some local residents uneasy. One worry? Health concerns. A recent presentation by UNC Environmental Sciences professor Doug Crawford Brown shows, in a worst-case scenario, 6 out of 1 million people will get cancer from the plant's emissions. He says there's no need to worry. That number is well below the national standard. Another worry? Power lines. Some people think plans to update the facility would bring unwanted power lines into their yards. Associate Vice Chancellor of Campus Services, Carolyn Elflin, says that the questions arose from an inaccurate assessment of the surrounding property.
The surveyors had gone onto private property and put surveyor flags, and frankly, we didn't realize there were any surveyors over there.
The Chapel Hill Town Council hasn't approved these plans yet. They'll discuss the matter again at their Monday meeting.
Whit, if the council approves the update plan, how long will it be before those updates go into effect?
Well, Lydia, if the board approves the plan, then the updates should start to take place over the next 10 years, starting out at the hospital and ending up here at the cogeneration power facility.
Whit Walker reporting from the cogeneration plant. Thanks, Whit.
Thank you.
Those in favor of the plant cite its sustainability. It's twice as efficient as most coal-fired plants. And that's important because energy needs are expected to double worldwide in the next 30 years, according to an International Energy Agency report. Demand for oil, coal, and natural gas is predicted to rise annually, with 2/3 of the increase coming from developing countries. With the demand, prices for crude oil are expected to rise, and emissions from carbon dioxide will more than double in 30 years. Director of UNC's Sustainability Office, Cindy Shea, says looking for new sources of energy isn't the best answer.
But the most cost-effective and the most sustainable source of new energy supplies is to save energy. The opportunities that exist for using energy more efficiently are huge.
Sustainable energy initiatives at UNC include working closely with campus construction to maximize green areas and using energy-efficient interior lighting.
When you think about the chances of getting lung cancer, exposure to power plants probably isn't the first thing to come to mind. As most people know, smoking is the #1 cause of lung cancer, and there's no better time to quit than now. Thursday is the 29th annual Great American Smokeout, sponsored by the American Cancer Society. Smokers are encouraged to go 24 hours without lighting up. More Americans try to quit smoking on this day than any other day of the year.
Good food makes everyone happy, and good food for a good cause even better. Triangle Restaurants teamed up for the 17th straight year and donated 10% of their profits on Tuesday to fight hunger in North Carolina. Chapel Hill restaurants, including Pepper's Pizza, Top of the Hill, and Cold Stone Creamery, all joined in. Because Orange County is stressing the importance of buy local, stay local, this year's slogan was Eat Local, Feed Local.
equal opportunity is a historic part of Carolina's culture, and college admissions plays a role in making that happen. But one organization questions the motives behind some university admissions decisions. Reporter Ada Wilson has more.
In 2003, the Supreme Court ruled that the University of Michigan could not utilize a policy that awarded minority applicants additional points toward admission because of their race. The Center for Equal Opportunity spearheaded the campaign against these special privileges, and its new study of colleges and universities has unveiled some critical findings about North Carolina State University.
The weight being given race and ethnicity was so heavy that it seemed clear to us that the limitations on the use of race and ethnicity in admissions set out by the Supreme Court were being violated.
The study launched an investigation through the Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights, but officials at NC State are currently unable to comment.
But what could this mean for diversity right here at UNC? Our population is vast, and students say that it's the diverse nature of the campus that makes this a special place.
Well, I think about my experience when I first got here. I was a little relieved to come into an atmosphere where there was just a mixture of different people.
And administrators agree. Dr. Archie Irvin says the university has a strong commitment to diversity.
Well, I think the university has made it clear that we want to be a community, a diverse community, that we communicate this message to prospective students and to prospective employees.
And Lopez says the university is keeping this promise through its recruitment efforts.
My job is to coordinate and create programs that try to attract the best and the brightest Hispanic students from around the state and the country.
Regardless of what may come from the Office of Civil Rights investigation, UNC officials say the university will continue to hold a legacy of diverse and qualified students. In Chapel Hill, I'm Ada Wilson, Carolina Week.
Irvin says UNC will continue to admit students who reflect the state and the country's population.
With the holidays only a few weeks away, you might have plans to travel overseas. If so, there's one thing you'll need to make sure you have before you go. On Wednesday, people lined up at the Student Union to either get or renew their passports. Officials from the U.S. Department of State were on hand to accept applications, and after filling out the appropriate forms, applicants got their pictures taken and paid for all relevant materials. But you don't need a passport to explore the world from Carolina. This week, Foreign Language Area Studies Fellowship Information Session gave students a chance to learn about working abroad and about becoming a global student ambassador. These students will be paired with international visitors, scholars, and ambassadors, and will give them a tour of the campus and introduce them to university students. Program directors say they hope the program will help the university become a great international institution.
I think that the Global Ambassadors program is very important to make everybody aware that there are lots of visiting scholars on our campus and that even though we're here at Carolina, it's a global place.
The Global Student Ambassadors program kicks off on Thursday. You can pick up an application at the Carolina Passport to the World Fair. You can also get that global experience by getting online. For students who need help with homework or studying, Study Loft offers 24-hour assistance with tutors from around the world. For a link to the Study Loft website, log on to our site, carolinaweek.org.
UNC students don't have to be tech wizards anymore to operate their own websites. Mambo is a new website creation tool designed to make it easier for students to create new or update existing websites on the UNC network. People behind the program held a tutorial at Davis Library Monday night to teach student organizations about the new system. Campus leaders hope Mambo will help students better know what's happening on the campus through the network of websites.
I personally have a real tendency to find out about the coolest events the day after when I hear how great they were. And hopefully what this can mean is an opportunity for students to be able to really know what's going on campus and be able to better take advantage of all the opportunities that Carolina has to offer.
Students who want to take advantage of Mambo can visit the student government offices in room 2501 of the Student Union.
Starting Wednesday, you can also tour UNC's campus while you're online. With just a click, you can travel to the U. The website is currently giving online sample tours of the 50 most popular colleges throughout the country, including UNC. But to get the in-depth tours, you have to purchase the MTV Style DVD that features all 50 colleges. According to the site, the tours were created by undergraduates and college administrators weren't involved.
UNC is one of the most popular universities in the nation. But serving in student government, not so popular. The Board of Elections held a meeting Tuesday night for potential student government candidates. They discussed campaign guidelines, spending limits, and passed out election materials. But only 4 potential candidates showed up, and 12 seats need to be filled. The 4 in attendance want to run for 1 campus spot on South Campus, that's District 3. The remaining 11 seats are for grad students only. Junior Ann Spangler says student government plans to spread the word.
They'll try to publicize that they're not filled more and call for another special election as soon as they have the opportunity.
If you're interested in running, petitions are due by November 22nd. Election Day is December 6th. In elections all around the world, women are coming to power.
And coming up, we'll take a look at the chances of a woman being elected head of state here in 2008.
I wonder how Silent Sam feels about guarding the university from groups of third-grade kids. Maybe he's lost interest. We haven't heard his rifle fire recently. Still he stands, a steadfast defender of something. What is it? No one knows the real Carolina like a student. Carolina Week, the student news show.
Mother taught me. She's
averaging 18%. Balance the budget.
Increasing clouds for...
UNC TV. Your remote stops here.
Continuing our series of Carolina Week special reports, all around the world, women are stepping into higher offices. Elizabeth Crumpler is here with more. Elizabeth?
Lydia, all across Europe and the rest of the world, women are taking over power, and even American TV has caught on to the trend. ABC's blockbuster hit, Commander-in-Chief, is about the first female U.S. president. That led us to wonder if and when the United States will have their first female Commander-in-Chief.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Good evening. Please be seated.
It's not reality TV, yet. But as the number of female heads of state worldwide continues to grow, is it possible that this drama could become a reality in the United States?
For the first time in the United States, we're likely to see a woman as a candidate for one of the 2 major parties. It's not a sure thing, but it's more likely than anyone else.
Political science professor George Rabinowitz also points out that the rest of the world has already begun electing women. As of November 15th, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf stands poised to become the president of Liberia and Africa's first female president. In Germany, Angela Merkel will take the helm as the country's first female chancellor on November 22nd. Not to mention Michelle Bachelet is currently leading in every major poll in Chile's presidential elections. If other countries have elected female heads of state, are Americans behind the times because we haven't?
We're definitely not ahead of the rest of the world in terms of how women are placed in high political positions.
Rabinowitz thinks a female American president is long overdue, but he doesn't think it will be long before we introduce a Madam President to the world. He says that most political analysts consider Hillary Clinton a strong candidate for the Democratic nomination in 2008, and says she might not be the only woman on the ballot.
I think it's kind of an interesting time when we really, for the first time, have a female who is an apparent front runner. And we've never been in a situation where a female really seemed like a likely nominee.
German political journalist Heike Janssen says from an international perspective that she would love to see a female American president. She says a leader like Hillary Clinton would inspire other women to get involved in politics.
No matter what she does, it changes the role of the women over the country, because it's always you must to have a pattern, you must to have a role model, and that will give other women power or energy to achieve something.
But for now, the only female commander-in-chief is on TV, and only time will tell when this fiction will become a reality.
It'll be interesting to see who's on the ballot in 2008 because there could be more than one woman to choose from.
Now, Elizabeth, are female leaders really a recent phenomenon?
Actually, Lydia, there have been female presidents and leaders all throughout Southeast Asia for a while, from India to the Philippines. It's only really recently that we've begun to see them rise to these positions in the West.
Okay, Elizabeth Crumpler, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, one local celebrity is teaching students an important lesson in leadership.
That's right. Carolina basketball coach Roy Williams is spreading the word. If you want to be a leader, you better keep your head in the books. He visited Smith Middle School Tuesday to kick off the Ticket to Reading Rewards program. It rewards students who read outside the classroom with prizes such as foam basketballs and trophies. Coach Williams emphasized the reading and education can open the doors to future success. Williams isn't the only Tar Heel encouraging reading. Members of the sailing club sat in the pit on Friday, collecting books for UNC's hospital's library. Students were encouraged to drop off any books they could spare, used or new.
Rob Ellis is here with our weather.
And I've been seeing rain in the forecast, but none on the ground. What's going on?
Well, we desperately need it, but the weather this week has been wonderful. Tara, check this out. Some students took advantage of the Wednesday high temperatures to test out their putt-putt skills. I'll let you know if this weekend's weather will be a hole-in-one coming up.
You wouldn't treat a crash test dummy like a child. So why treat a child like a crash test dummy? If they're under 4'9", they need a booster seat. Learn more at boosterseat.gov.
Well, thank you for joining us for Carolina Week Weather. I'm weathercaster Rob Ellis. We're keeping our eye on some scattered storms that are moving towards the Chapel Hill area. They're in association with the cold front, and when that cold front moves through, we're going to expect a cold blast to move in our area. It's finally going to feel like November, but by the weekend, we should be clear and warm, and it should look fine. Let's go ahead and take a look at our national satellite map and see what's going on at the moment. There's a system winding up, and you can see that cold front draped from the northeast all the way down to the southeast. Now, in the northeast, the system is very strong, triggering some showers and thunderstorms, but in the southeast it's not quite as severe. Let's go ahead and take a look at a zoom into the southeast, and you'll be able to see that much of the system seems to have lost its punch, although ahead of the system there is some warm air, and that warm air provides some instability and may bring us some showers and thunderstorms. Let's take a look at the southeast radar, and you'll be able to see some of those showers and thunderstorms. Now, ahead of the cold front, just a few sparking off, but in association with the cold front, we do have a line that looks like it's beginning to get a little better organized. Some of the showers and thunderstorms do look very strong in northwestern North Carolina and Virginia, and as that pushes through towards the Chapel Hill area, it's something that we want to keep an eye on. Now, let's go back to the surface map to show you what's going to be happening in the next day or so. Here's our cold front. It will push through, and behind that cold front, winds will be out of the north and northwest. That means that our temperatures are going to drop rapidly from the 70s to mid-70s that we've seen this week down into the 50s, and you'll be able to see that on our 4-day forecast. Let's start out on Friday. 50 degrees is all we're going to make it up to here in Chapel Hill, but clear skies, and as we move into Saturday, low overnight 28, but then we bump back up to 56 in the daytime, lows overnight again right around freezing. As we move into Sunday, we'll put some clouds in the forecast, and that will begin to moderate that air mass. High temperature of about 50 degrees. Our low can't quite make it down because we have those clouds in place. That brings us down to 37. We'll carbon copy that and paste it on to Monday. You'll see 58 for the start of your short work week. And if you have vacation plans or travel plans this weekend, let's go down to the beach to see what's happening there. High temperature 58 on Saturday, low overnight 48. Not a bad weekend. Sunday 60 and 47 for your low. We expect clear skies with perhaps a few clouds. And we'll go ahead and look at your mountains, the beautiful mountains of North Carolina. Starting out on Saturday 50 degrees, but look at these low temperatures, very chilly into the 20s. And Sunday temperature of 53 degrees with a low overnight of 27. And if you have no plans and you plan on making it out to the game in Chapel Hill, I do expect clear skies here in the area, the temperature of around 55 degrees.
So we'll have Carolina blue skies for that Duke game.
It'll be beautiful.
All right, wonderful. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks,
and
Rob.
we certainly don't want to see much Duke blue here at Carolina, do we?
None at all. Heather Catlin, you've got our sports. Carolina lost to Maryland. What's in store this weekend?
Well, guys, we have 2 more games left, and we have to beat both Duke this week and Virginia Tech at Virginia Tech next week to be a bowl contender. But here's the catch: Virginia Tech has only lost 1 game, and Duke has only won 1 game. So it's some interesting things coming up. So first, coming up in Carolina Week Sports, we hate Duke and Duke hates us. But football's just a game, right? We'll show you a youth program where sportsmanship is the real winner.
Excuse me. I've been getting mixed messages about women and violence. I need a little clarification.
Uncle Bill, how am I supposed to grow up to respect women when I have such lousy role models?
Boys are never going to approach you.
Can you help me reshape my attitudes towards women?
You need to teach them that violence against women is wrong.
Immunizations are not just for kids. No matter your state of health, your age, or how you spend your day, you're at risk for serious disease if your immunizations are not up to date. Take the time to visit your health professional and find out which vaccines you need. Immunization saves lives. One of them might be yours. For more information, visit vaccineinformation.org.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Heather Catlin. There's more than bragging rights at stake during Saturday's Duke game. Reporter Catherine Craven tells us about a musical instrument that's the real prize in this great rivalry.
Most people recognize the ringing of the bell tower as Carolina tradition, but when asked about the tradition of the victory bell, the answers are not quite as clear.
I don't know, something in the Civil War, I guess.
The victory bell. I know nothing about the victory bell.
The victory bell is a symbol of football rivalry between Duke and Carolina. Carolina alum Rick Brewer has worked with Carolina Sports Information since 1960.
It was started in the late 40s. Norman Spear came here from California. His dad was actually a movie producer. He was an All-America diver, and he got together with the head cheerleader at Duke, and they came up with the idea of a victory bell.
Many people might have taken the bell for granted because it stayed with Carolina for 13 straight years, until Duke beat us in 2003 and took it away. And as part of the tradition, the winning team gets to spray paint it with the school colors. But a Carolina victory last year allowed eager players to reclaim the bell.
When the victory bell isn't ringing on the field, it's right here in the football locker room. These players see the bell every day, and it reminds them of the past victory, but also a physical reminder of something they don't want to lose this season.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Catherine Craven, Carolina Week Sports.
Now that you know what's at stake, how about the actual game? The Heels look to repeat last year's success in this storied rivalry. The last time these two rivals met, it was the Heels defense that kept the Blue Devils to 217 yards, helping Carolina roll to a 40-17 victory. After last week's overtime loss to Maryland, Carolina plans to do a better job of running the ball, which should open up the passing game for Matt Baker. And if Jesse Hawley can have another career day, the Heels could seal this one of their 2 needed victories, a treat for not only the fans, but also the seniors. Tar Heel athletes play for the love of the game, and for most, that love starts as a child. Now, unfortunately, today, some young athletes are faced with what is called parent rage, when parents forget the meaning of friendly competition. In Durham, I found a place where kids come first, where players and parents can shake hands at the end of the day.
They might be little, but they mean business.
This Durham Eagle team is just one of more than 64 teams in the Consolidated Football Federation, which is a part of the National Pop Warner Youth Football Program. This group prides itself on giving kids a chance to excel in athletics in a positive atmosphere.
This organization, it's all about children, not about parents, not about egos. It's about children.
Bobby McDowell has 2 sons who play on different teams. He says the best part is that every kid gets to play and, most importantly, learn.
This is about having fun, and it's about children learning values of teamwork, togetherness, camaraderie.
The kids seem to have fun, and each has their favorite part of the game.
Running, touchdown, tackling, and blocking. Winning.
While most parents are positive supporters, there are some exceptions. Head coach Steve Smith of the Wilders Grove Wolfpack and graduate of Carolina says he tries to stop any parent rage before it can happen.
What I try to do is communicate to our parents and kind of set the stage for, the involvement that we expect from them.
He says parents get emotional, but reminds them the kids come first.
I believe that football and sports in general is a good opportunity for kids to learn life lessons, and that's what we try to do.
Well, our guys are a little bit bigger than those Durham Eagles, but kickoff is at 1 o'clock, and make sure to get there early because the seniors are going to be recognized. It's senior day.
Okay, I want to make sure that Carolina comes home with the victory bell and those 2 Carlisle Cup points.
That's right.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Thank
Heather.
you.
Thank you. Well, what is Turkey Day without the turkey?
Coming up, we'll show you how some vegetarians are making the most of Thanksgiving with a little tofurkey.
See what a 10% weight loss can do for you.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and you know what that means, turkey.
That's right, at least for me it does. But as reporter Keena Patel shows us, some people will be staying away from the bird this Thanksgiving, at least the traditional one.
Most students can't wait to go home for Thanksgiving. What could be better than mom's home-cooked turkey, right? Wrong, at least for one group. Vegetarians are a minority that is often forgotten on a holiday like Thanksgiving. It may seem like there's nothing to eat at a Thanksgiving feast if you can't eat turkey. Well, there is an alternative. It's called tofurkey. And as Emily Bueller explains, it's not so bad.
Several years ago, some of us made the tofurkey roast for Thanksgiving dinner, and that we really enjoyed. It tastes good, I think, but it was also kind of fun just having something in the center of the table.
There might be some extra work involved in actually getting this special turkey. Not every grocery store carries it, but if you find a store that does, and you like tofu, it's almost a sure thing. After all, the only ingredients are tofu, spices, and the stuffing of your choice.
And for those of you vegetarians like me that don't really like tofu, you still have other options. You can either have a green bean casserole or some baked macaroni and cheese.
No matter what you like to eat, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, so grab a fork and get ready. In Chapel Hill, I'm Keena Patel, Carolina Week.
So Lydia, have you ever tried tofurkey?
No, and no offense, but I certainly don't plan on it.
Yeah, well, I've tried tofu. It's not that bad,
Right,
so maybe I'll have to try the tofurkey. But how's the weather going to look for Thanksgiving?
It looks like so far it's a ways out, but it looks like it should be great. Temperatures in the 50s and clear skies, so should feel like November out there for your plans.
All right, wonderful.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this edition of Carolina Week.
I'm Tara Higgerson. Thanks for watching. Good night.